Hi, everyone. Hope you are having an amazing day. Today is Friday, October 2nd, and welcome to the Morning Brief. This is your channel to get your second stimulus and pandemic news update in a clear and concise summary. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, like, and the bell button. Huge news overnight. If you are here, you have already probably heard that the President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump had tested positive for COVID-19 overnight. In this video, I'm going to break down the implications for 1, stock market, 2, election, and 3, the stimulus check. So going on to the news, White House aide Hope Hicks had tested positive yesterday. Hope Hicks had flown as recently as October 1st yesterday and was pictured with no mask boarding the plane with Donald Trump, Melania Trump, and other senior White House staff. A number of important people in the White House was on that plane with Hope Hicks, such as obviously First Lady Melania Trump, Jim Jordan, Alice Johnson, Robert O'Brien, Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Lara Trump, Tiffany Trump, Stephen Miller, and many other people. It's unclear where Trump and Hicks may have directly contacted the virus, but in an interview with Fox News, Trump seemed to suggest that it may have been spread by someone he had been in contact with law enforcement or military. After the White House officials learned of Hicks's symptoms to COVID-19, Trump and his group on the plane flew Thursday to New Jersey, and he attended a golf club fundraiser. Trump was in close contact with dozens of people, including campaign supporters and a roundtable event. Hicks is the most senior White House aide known to have tested positive for COVID-19. In the past, other high-profile White House aides that contracted COVID-19 included Pence's spokeswoman Katie Miller, who caught the virus in May, Kimberly Guilfoyle, a top Trump fundraiser, and the girlfriend of President's son Donald Trump Jr. contracted the virus in July. Right now, there's not much known about the state of the president in terms of his symptoms, but they appear to be asymptomatic, and he does not appear to be unwell. Trump was last seen by reporters returning to the White House on Thursday night, and he did not show any symptoms of appearing very sick. However, Trump is getting getting old. He is 74 years old, putting him in a very high risk category of complications from the virus. And this virus has infected more than 7 million people in the United States and has killed over 206,000 people. And every 8 out of 10 deaths are attributed in the United States have been those who are over the age of 65. And even if Trump remains asymptomatic, he may have to withdraw from the campaign trail and be isolated in the White House for at least 2 weeks. And if he becomes sick or ventilated, this could raise complications for whether he should stay in the race at all. And these are totally unknowns, and this is a big bombshell in terms of uncertainty to the economy, the stock market, the election. This is just crazy. But while Trump, he's had his own health concerns. He's been stated he had high cholesterol, and the last time he revealed his weight publicly, he was almost 250 pounds, which was considered obese for his height. However, the president's doctor announced that he was in good health in his last medical checkup, and he stated that he was in better health than most of the COVID-19 infection people who stated they were infected who are over 65. And of course, the president will have access to the best medical care available, that which many people in the United States would not have the access to. And it's interesting to note that in the early days of the pandemic, there were many scientists and health officials that questioned how the health and safety protocols at the White House were being conducted, and whether there was enough protocols to prevent Trump meeting so many people on the campaign trail and just interacting with so many people in Washington. However, Trump continued to shake hands and not wear a mask, where many public officials warned against it. And for many months, Trump, we've seen on the debate and the election trail and everything coming up to this that he's been downplaying the severity of the virus. And just on Thursday night, he was quoted on a fundraiser saying, quote unquote, the end of the pandemic is in sight. And I dug up some other quotes that Trump had said of the virus and of Trump. Trump said the following: I don't wear masks like him. Trump said of Biden, every time you see, quote, this is another quote, every time you see him, he's got a mask on. He could be speaking 200 feet away from me. And Biden shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. And Trump has gone on in the recent months trying to downplay the concerns of the virus and did not wear masks. There was no immediate comment from the Biden camp about the positive test or comment on the safety protocols. But obviously, a positive test of COVID-19 by Trump undercuts a lot of the work and the statements he's been giving to the media about how it's been under control. And however, Mr. Trump, he's focused the voter attention more on, the continued violence in the city against the police, Supreme Court nomination, the mail-in ballots, and its illegitimacy, and Mr. Biden's relationship with the left. So in summary, let's go over what was said, and I'll break this down concisely for you guys about what you need to know about the stock market. Obviously, it's down 500 points right now. The futures and overnights down 1% to 2%. Volatility, the VIX index, the implied volatility in options is up over 10%. So the stock market, it's a forward discounting machine, and it doesn't like uncertainty. So in the near term, the market's going to go down. It's down today, obviously, but we'll see. It depends on his infection. If it's there's so many unknowns in terms of if he gets further sick, Trump's age and his effect on the further stimulus and how this goes. But obviously, it's going to slow the process in how the White House operates. So that is not a positive thing. So number two, in terms of the election, this is not good news as well. Trump is going to be immediately quarantined for 14 days. It's going to slow down activity in the White House, in the Congress, and it really depends on his condition. If he is ventilated and his condition worsens, he's 74 years of age. This could, change the election fundamentally. It will be delayed, and the debates will be called off, and possibly even his ability to run will be questioned. So a lot of it is unknown. We can look at what happened to the UK PM Boris Johnson. He was immediately quarantined, and the government there gave updates on his status every 6 to 7 days about detailed status on his recovery and condition. So we should mark basically the next few days on our calendar, especially days 6 and 7, where typically COVID patients show material, good or bad symptoms in their status. So it's really important to pay close attention to what is released on his condition. Third, in terms of stimulus, this is not good again because we don't know the extent of the spread. Hope Hicks was in contact with other people in the House and Congress. And there was a lot of people in that plane, like Mark Meadows, who, talks with Pelosi and Giuliani all the time. So if there is another material spread throughout the White House or in Congress, this will be very bad news because the talks could be moved online, or it will delay further negotiations going forward. So there's just a ton of uncertainty of how the lockdown will occur in the White House, the Congress, and the Senate. And it's all unknowns right now. So we'll pay close attention in the next few days about how these three factors are going to be affected by Trump's COVID-19 infection. But short term, there's going to be a lot of volatility and uncertainty, and we'll just see what happens from all this. So you're all caught up for today. Please have an awesome day. Please subscribe. See you tomorrow.